And this is Learn to Business Daily on Trust TV. And in the bullish turn of events, Bitcoin has surpassed the $52,000 mark that we haven't seen it hit in over 2 years, reaching a market capitalization of over $1 trillion. And how much of an impact is this having within the cryptocurrency space? And what should we, as investors expect moving forward? Joining me now is a cryptocurrency analyst, enthusiast as well, someone who pays close attention to developments within the cryptocurrency space, Adiele Greatman. Thank you for joining us on Business Daily. Okay, let's start off with the recent...
Hi, thank you for having me.
Indeed. Let us start off with the recent development within the cryptocurrency space. Like I said in my introduction, a whopping $52,000, and we have seen tremendous growth in the past 7 days. What would you attribute this growth to?
So a lot of factors, right? It's a good thing to see Bitcoin above $50,000. One thing that we can attribute to this rise in the price of Bitcoin is what we call institutional adoption. We saw that the Bitcoin spot ETF just got approved by the US, and since then we've seen like a major rise in the price of Bitcoin. And what it has essentially done is it has helped the main public be more appreciative of Bitcoin. It has helped the main public understand that, okay, institutions are going into crypto, and this means that, okay, this asset, as a store of value, can be trusted. And we've seen, the quantity of Bitcoin being bought going to over $1 trillion, right? And so, yes, institutional adoption is one factor that is directly affecting the price of Bitcoin. And the next thing is what we call the Bitcoin halving. It's an event that happens where the miners' rewards are split into half. And this is probably like the last halving that's going to happen for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a stable supply of over 21 million tokens in circulation. And once this is done, it's a positive sentiment for crypto traders, all around the world. We see it sort of as the last bull cycle. So like there's so much positive sentiment about Bitcoin, and yes, this has driven the price up. Following demand and supply.
Okay, Greatman, you talked about institutional, developments that have impacted on Bitcoin. I want to speak particularly about the exchange traded funds, which was introduced by the United States recently. And most analysts have, said this is one of the major causes for the advancement in Bitcoin recently. Is that true? Do you agree with that school of thought?
Yeah, of course, I totally agree with that, because we see some of these guys are hedge fund capitalists, and with the likes of BlackRock, which we see to have more potentials, have more capital than many nations. And these guys coming into Bitcoin, it's actually a huge thing for the crypto space. So yes, institutional adoption is something that has really done great for Bitcoin adoption.
Okay, still on Bitcoin adoption that you have touched on, there has been the, continuous acceptability, I should call it, of Bitcoin by diverse people, organizations, countries, and the likes. And one of the most recent is the potential JP Morgan upgrade of Coinbase particularly. And aside from that, we are seeing, payments platforms like MasterCard, many other banks across the world, accepting payments via Bitcoin. And even countries as well, accept Bitcoin as their legal tender. What would you have to say regarding that, especially with the area of acceptability of Bitcoin?
So first off, let's go to the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is essentially good for payment transfers. I'm going to take it back to a personal basis, right? Maybe for some freelancers like myself, we saw that we were losing a lot of foreign gigs because there were no payments, foreign payment accepted in our country, and this caused us to lose a lot of jobs. But what Bitcoin has essentially done for freelancers, freelance workers, remote workers, is that with Bitcoin you are able to accept payment from any country in the world. Right? I don't know if you know about this, but payment has always been an issue, cross border. There was a time that you couldn't accept transfer from Nigeria to Ghana, but with crypto, you're able to do that easily, right? And essentially, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer. It facilitates peer-to-peer payment, and what this helps do it reduces the cost of transactions. I give an instance. I was to receive funds from a particular country, and this payment was made. Western Union, I wasn't sure, but this payment was made, and the banks took their charges, and we waited for over 5 days. And what happened was the payment reversed after 5 days, and the charges were not reversed, right? And this it's not this is essentially more easier with Bitcoin, because you can easily, with some simple taps on your mobile phone, you can send money from US, money from Nigeria to any part of the country, and receive payment that easily. And that's essentially what crypto has really done for us, because it's easy to facilitate remittances across different countries. And yes, so it's a good thing that nations are actually accepting the adoption of crypto for cross-border payments, and we're going to be seeing more and more of that.
Okay, still on the acceptability, you've talked as to how much of growth we have seen with the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency market as a whole, and one of the most recent developments in that field, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is the recent reversal of the ban by the CBN. But there are concerns. I have listened to most analysts talk about since it is a blockchain, you can hardly really monitor how these monies are sent. That people have said things such as how cryptocurrency has been used to fund terrorism and the likes. What would you like to say about that? First of all, the current reversal of the ban from the CBN. How has that been accepted by cryptocurrency enthusiasts like yourself?
Well, I would say for the reversal of the ban from the CBN, it's a positive step for us as a country, because we know that as far as remittances come in, crypto has helped facilitate remittances, paying of school fees abroad, and receiving money from loved ones. So yes, it's actually a positive move from the government, as it helps for more crypto adoption. And on the fact that crypto is used for funding terrorist activities, or the myth that what you do with your crypto cannot be monitored, is hugely debunked, because crypto is not anonymous. Crypto transactions are not anonymous. And what that means is that they are pseudonymous, in that you have a wallet that you're transacting with, but the content of that wallet can also be tracked on what we call the blockchain explorer. So let's walk through a scenario. Someone wants to do an illegal activity on the blockchain. He uses a wallet, he funds an activity. The truth is, the activities with that wallet can be tracked, right? Even if we don't know the owner of this wallet, but we can see that money has left this wallet, it has gone to another wallet, and we can keep tracking that money until it hits a centralized exchange. And that's the good thing about centralized exchanges. Most or all centralized exchanges have what we call this KYC platforms. And what KYC essentially does is know your customer. So you go in there, you put some form of identification. So let's say a someone that wants to fund for illegal activities, thinking that his money can be tracked through crypto, and he funds and keeps doing transfers. Essentially, when he hits the centralized platforms, and law enforcement agencies write to that platform that, hey, we have this guy that has done these activities, and internally they look at that account, follow the money, track it, and see that okay, this person is default. They just submit the identification of this said person to the law enforcement. So most centralized exchanges, that I know of, are in collaboration with law enforcement agencies to curb crime. So the myth that crypto money cannot be tracked is hugely debunked. It's hugely debunked. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, seeing that there's been, increased vibrance in the cryptocurrency market and optimism amongst investors, analysts have said, have predicted a potential rise to even $100,000. Do you see that happening? And if so, what would be, the continuous push for the markets to get to that level?
So I think seeing that we've passed, 50K is a huge milestone, and I would say with crypto, anything is possible, right? Huge levels for growth for Bitcoin price is, like I said, the institutional adoption, and that's a good step in the right direction. Now that we know that these big boys are coming into the space, it's going to help, fast track crypto adoption, because when we talk about investor confidence, when we talk about public acceptance of crypto, once the big boys are not there, it's still something that people are playing around. But now we see, okay, BlackRock has come in. There's what we call a Bitcoin ETF. People can say, okay, we don't want to invest in Bitcoin, but want to invest in, Bitcoin ETF with these guys. And what it means is that, okay, most of the guys that are not like crypto savvy, they can literally invest with these guys, these big financial analysts, and whether we like it or not, that's like huge crypto adoption coming in. And like I said, with more crypto adoption, with more institutional adoption, we are likely to see the price go above 100K. Yeah.
Okay, just before we go quickly now, I'd like for you to, give some, cautious advice to investors. At this point, is there any need for investors to be cautious? Because, it's possible for us to go haywire with the increased growth that we are seeing in the cryptocurrency market. Is there any need for caution?
Exactly. Especially that crypto is a nation market. There's always need for caution. And yeah, I'm a very huge fan of educating people on, being very careful, especially when it comes to crypto. You don't just, dive in. Oh, you hear that it's going to pump your money. No, that's not how crypto works. You don't come into crypto with, get rich quick mentality. You get burned really fast, right? There are a lot of scams. There is social engineering going on. There's a lot of phishing scams going on. Like I said, is new, and because of human error, that the blockchain is immutable doesn't mean that we won't make a mistake as human. So I would say for anybody coming into crypto, you have to be educated about crypto. You have to be educated about the security risks, and for every crypto project that you are going to invest in, you have to be able to do DYOR, and that's do your own research. And what that essentially entails is that you have to be very, very educated about the technology, about what blockchain is really about, so that you can understand how the space is moving. I can understand why most people will be very excited to jump into crypto, but like we've seen, once you jump in without so much knowledge, you become a prey. You lose your hard-earned money, and I don't think it's a very good time to be losing money. That's what I'll say.
Indeed, knowledge is
essentially
power.
Do your research.
Indeed, like you've said, knowledge is power, and it's important to do your research before diving into the cryptocurrency market. Adiele Greatman, a cryptocurrency enthusiast, thank you for your insight on Business Daily this morning.
Thank you so much.
And this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the program. It is the final one for the week, but Business Daily will be with you again on Monday to bring you up to speed with trends within the Nigerian business space. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful weekend.